Around the World in Song instead of a balloon. Here's what I played in the month of June. Hello, music lovers. My name's Anna Hagen, and as a full-time professional harpist, I spend a lot of time doing programs at senior communities, and every month we have a different theme. Heading into the big 250th anniversary, July 4th celebration, I decided to go all the way around the world first. So for my monthly program, I put together a list of songs, folk melodies, favorite pieces, and techniques from around the globe. I learned a little bit of the Beatles' Norwegian Wood and the arrangement by Jim Palmer. Jim is one of my favorite harp arrangers for jazz things, and I just discovered he did a whole bunch of Beatles arrangements. Since I'm from Norwegian stock, it's very important to get my Norwegian in there. This is a great arrangement. It comes in both beginner and advanced levels and is easy to play on any style harp. After we get our Beatles fix out of the way, I take us to some actual traditional folk music with the Russian folk song, Song of the Volga Boatman. I decided to pair this song with one from Korea. This is Arirang. I apologize in advance for all my pronunciations. By themselves, folk songs can be quite short or repetitive, so I'll often put them in medleys, groups together. And these two are wildly different sounds, different soundscapes. But both of them have a sort of cultural identity of work songs or folk songs turned into songs of national identity and hope. Song of the Volga Boatman was like in one of my very first harp books, but I just learned Arirang this month from some sheet music I pulled off MuseScore. When I'm putting together an entirely new 50-minute repertoire every month, I mix and match about 20 to 30% entirely new material, stuff that I know is going to be hits, and then things that I pull out of the archives that I haven't played in a long time. This is the Chinese folk song Purple Bamboo, found in Samuel Milligan's Fun from the First. Again, one of those early harp books, and it's included here because it uses a pentatonic scale. A penta or 5-note scale is one of the things that the harp does really, really well. I'll often put on a glissando loop with my loop pedal and then play the melody several times. A great way to still get use out of those first harp books is to take the core idea and repeat it with variations. I'll bump it up an octave, or I'll repeat it bouncing it back and forth between two hands or over something in my loop pedal. Staying in Asia, I just picked up a new arrangement of the tune Sakura, the traditional Japanese folk song, this time arranged by Tamsin Dearnley. I found this arrangement on Harp Column Music, which is a dedicated music source for harpists. My arrangements are up there, and when I'm looking for something arranged for the harp, that's usually where I start. I love Tamsin's version. She creates several variations on the melody, each one adding a little bit of that iconic twang. Going from the pentatonic scale to the full scales, I was often told when I was just starting music that the difference between a minor key scale and a major key scale is that minor keys were sad and major keys were happy. But for most of the rest of the world and most of the rest of history, it's actually the opposite. I put together a medley of Mediterranean songs, all songs about falling in love with beautiful women with big brown eyes, songs for love, romance, dancing. They're all incredibly happy, and they're all in minor keys. I don't remember where I got this book, but it's folk dance tunes for folk harps from Eastern Europe, the Balkans, and Greece, arranged by Linda Titilo. I start with the traditional Greek dance, Misirlou, which was covered on the electric guitar by Dick Dale in the 60s and became the iconic soundtrack for Pulp Fiction. Random music fact for the day. To Misirlou, I slide into a little bit of Bella Ciao, a traditional song from Italy. This I mostly play by ear. Then, out of Jewish wedding music, I grab Dodi Lee, or My Beloved, the arrangement by Sunita Stanislaw. All three of these flow into each other. They're in very similar keys in E minor, and they have just a great energy, a wonderful rhythmic energy, but each one is very different and distinct. The idea that major keys are for happy songs is easily disproved by literally any Celtic song ever. So many iconic Celtic melodies from Ireland and Scotland are all in major keys, and they're all so sad. A popular one recently has been the Skye Boat Song, which is being used in the TV show Outlander. So I grabbed Kim Robertson's arrangement with its lovely lilting interpretation. While the harp is famously the national instrument of Ireland and Scotland, just as many harps can be found in Latin America. Latin American harp or Paraguayan harp is an entirely unique tradition. I've only dipped my toes in with some workshops from Dr. Alfredo Rolando Ortiz, but his books on international rhythmic collections for the harp are some of the most fun ways to enter into the world of Latin music. I especially love Waltz for Dreaming from this collection. And while we're getting our Latin dance on, I had to bring out a little bit of Baroque flamenco. Like a lot of harpists, I discovered a lot of really cool techniques through Deborah Hinson-Conant and her very unconventional arrangements. I think I learned this piece in college, and it was one of the early examples of using a lot of rhythmic techniques, a lot of percussive techniques, of hitting on the soundboard or strumming the strings. Any performance where you get to hit your instrument is a good performance. So this is a very popular, very showy harp solo. Audiences love it. I usually only perform maybe 5 or 6 of the variations because otherwise it takes forever, but it is always a hit and necessitates having a breather afterwards. Those percussive techniques served me so well when I went into other genres and other styles. I use them all the time in my pop arrangements, but I also used some of that rhythmic percussion on my loop pedal to play a song from South Africa. Siahambe, or We Are Walking in the Light of God, is a South African freedom chorus I actually learned in Sunday school. I just played the version out of the hymn book, but in order to get some of that really strong sense of a chorus, singing and walking and chanting as a group, I start by laying in a drum beat on my harp with my loop pedal. Then we can repeat and build and sing and rejoice together, marching toward freedom. Now, growing up, my mother found this song a wonderfully adaptable tune. We didn't just go walking in the light of God. We went driving in the light of God, shopping in the light of God, cleaning in the light of God. After going all the way around the world, we end up back where I currently live in the United States for some American folk tunes, including Shenandoah. I finish off with some final patriotic hymns very popular in the senior communities, America the Beautiful and My Country 'Tis of Thee. Again, just basic versions I pulled off online. One patriotic hymn that always connected with me was the Battle Hymn of the Republic, so I ended up making my own arrangement of it. First for my CD, and now it's available on my website. I insisted on including this song in a CD of relaxing hymns because of one line. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free. This is, again, a big hit in memory care units where everyone will join in on the chorus. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Besides my regular programs, I ended up playing a lot of special events. I played a program for churches where we went walking on water with the worship song Oceans. I gave a lecture at our local art museum where I got to talk about the current science behind relaxing music, how it's less about harmony or even about the instrument. It's almost entirely based on rhythm. 2 weddings this month were wildly different. The first wedding wanted all the traditional classical wedding songs, Pachelbel's Canon, Jesu Joy, Mendelssohn's Wedding March. The second wedding was an outdoor country wedding where we had all pop music. Chris Stapleton, Shania Twain, Lana Del Rey, Marvin Gaye, and the theme soundtrack from the movie The Man from Snowy River. Congratulations again to Carrie and Bryce and Taylor and Justin. I loved playing for your weddings. In between all of those other events, I've been working on some Christmas music because every year I host a sale on my sheet music, Christmas in July. New arrangements dropping soon. Oh, there were so many countries I didn't even get to. I have Welsh melodies, Swedish melodies. Next time. So what's a folk tradition that you love to listen to? Or what do you want to hear me play next? Leave a comment below and stay tuned to find out what we play next month. Now, where did I put those fireworks?